everyone, it's Kim from Expressions of the Universe, and I just want to apologize for last week's video. It was really shitty, but it just goes to show you how transparent I am because, you know, we're not all perfect, and we have bad weeks, we have bad days. I really needed some rest, and I gotta tell you, I was exhausted last week, so hopefully this will be better. This is your weekly wisdom for April 9th through April 22nd. And yes, it's a 2-week video blog. We have a lot going on in the cosmos. You'll see that in my blog. It's a little bit long, but it is for 2 weeks. We have a lot of holidays coming up for people all over the world this week if you celebrate. And so I just wanted to allow all of you to watch the video and read the blog in your own time over the next 2 weeks and absorb everything that's going on. So I have picked a lot of cards. This week I am using Colette Baron Reid's Wisdom of the Oracle cards, but I really felt moved and wanted to use the Halloween deck from Stacey DeMarco. I only picked one card from her deck because I just didn't want to bring that heaviness energy in. So we're in Venus retrograde now. We've been for a while. We've been in Jupiter retrograde for a while. Today starts Mercury retrograde. Don't worry about it. It's all okay. Read it in the blog. We have a full moon on Tuesday. It's the full pink moon. It's in Libra. It's all about balance. It's about finding out what our truth is, really balancing out our lives. And so take advantage of this energy. April 20th, Pluto is going retrograde. That's going to be a little bit of the killer. And you're probably already feeling that energy only because it is about death and fear and obsessions and addictions. That's why it gets a little hairy, because this Pluto retrograde is really going to make us look at that dark side of ourselves, the place that we don't ever really like to look at. And, you know, people like to pretend that we don't have that dark side, and we all do. Everything in this entire universe is made up of light and dark. You know, it's two halves of every equation. Everything has two halves, whether you like it or not. That's how we get balance, when you can balance that light and that darkness. What else do we have going on? I did put in the blog, this is a great time for meditation. Oprah and Deepak are doing another free 21-day meditation program starting tomorrow, April 10th. I put the link in the blog so that you could sign up. I have never missed one. Probably, I think they've been doing it 5-6 years now. And it always brings me back to my center and gives me 15 minutes a day where I'm really just focusing on myself and getting my mind in order. This is a perfect time with this Mercury retrograde. Speaking of which, I always say, oh, it doesn't really affect me too much because I'm always prepared for it. I look for it. I welcome it. I use it as a time of rest and retreat and rejuvenation for myself. Don't you know where I keep my laptop set up, where it always is, it always has been for like 3 years. I'm streaming April the Giraffe, and my laptop just falls and crashes. I'm not even near it, and my screen shattered. I've got spiderweb cracks all over this screen. Luckily, it missed the camera by about this much, so I'm good to go. I'm not going to worry about it. So let's get into your card reading. You know that I will post these on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and Google Plus in depth with a crystal. Speaking of which, I'm wearing my moonstone. I'm getting ready for this full moon. I do have other moonstones that I'll be using and put them under my pillow. It's a great time to charge your crystals out in the moonlight, but I'm going to go for rose quartz for the next probably 6 months. This is going to be my main man. because rose quartz focuses on our heart chakra, and it really brings and instills love into our lives. And I have these placed all over my garden out here. It kind of grids my home on the outside and allowing only love to pass through my doors and my property. It's very inexpensive. I think maybe I paid $5 for this piece. So don't get ripped off if you're going to buy some rose quartz, but this is what I'm going to use. Be sure you're mindful of your communications with this Mercury retrograde, officially in Taurus, but it is Aries right now. Arguments can ensue. You're better off just taking a step back and listening to what people have to say. Shift your perception, shift your attitude about other people's opinions. You don't have to prove a point. Not during this Mercury retrograde. Your mind and your tongue will want to do that. I say stay out of other people's business, and these cards say the same. So, first card that I have for you is higher power, and it's in the reversed or the protection position. And this is saying that instead of focusing on yourself and your spirit and your mind, you are obsessing over other people, their crap, the things that they do, obsessing over money or the lack thereof, obsessing over things that are really truly not important. You want to take a step back and look at where you're placing your energy. You know, this is also part of that full moon, you know, bringing your life into balance and only focusing on the things that are important and that really have true meaning. Everything that's external that you're worrying about and obsessing about, it just doesn't even matter. So that's what that card is saying. Followed up by never-ending story in reverse or protection position. And this is saying stay away from the drama. Just stay away from it. Focus on yourself. Stop focusing on other people and what other people are doing. I always see posts on Facebook. Everybody's always focused on what other people are doing to them, what other people are doing out in the world. It doesn't matter. It truly doesn't. Focus on what you're doing to yourself. And this also talks about playing the victim. That's usually when it's in the upright position. Like, what story are you telling the world? You know, quit the victim mode, you know, and what people are doing to you. Just focus on you and what you're giving back to the world. These cards, they never cease to amaze me. So we have mending. This is about you mending yourself. So there's two little girls in this card, and it usually has to do with mending relationships and everything, but I really think the focus for these next 6 months is really focused on healing ourselves, mending ourselves, so that we can be better friends, and we can be better wives, and better husbands, and better lovers, and better mothers, and better fathers, and better co-workers. Focus on you, and everything else falls into place. Then we have, going into probably the end of this week, the weekend, the following week, we have Loyal Heart. I love this card. This kind of really lines up with that Venus retrograde action, because Venus slid back into Pisces. So this is spiritual, it is fated, it is destiny and synchronistic. I don't know if you can hear that, but my little Pomeranian is choking over there. But this Loyal Heart is not only saying, who are you loyal to? Think about who is loyal back to you, but most of all, be loyal to yourself. That is what, I don't know, how do I say it? When we are good to ourselves, when we love ourselves first, you have so much more to give back to the rest of the world and to the people around you. Now, I think this is lining up with that Pluto retrograde on April 20th. Also the Sag retrograde. I forgot. Sagittarius is also in retrograde. That went retrograde on April 6th. Pretty soon, June 16th, Neptune will be going retrograde, and then August 2nd, Uranus. So the only planet this year not in retrograde motion is Mars, the planet of war. That's still steamrolling straight ahead. But we have the fates. And so no matter what you do, whatever it is that you're resisting, the fates are still going to play their role. This is that Venus retrograde. That energy is going to carry through officially until May 18th, but I predict that we will still be feeling and experiencing fated events in our lives through the first week of June. So, and then from that Halloween deck, it ties into all of this. And the card is forgiveness. But I don't think it's really so much forgiveness of other people and the things that you think that they did to you, the story that you made up in your mind. This is forgiveness of yourself, the things that you thought of, the burden. See where it says reducing burdens? When you can forgive yourself for the way you've acted and the way you've thought and the way you've behaved, you take a huge weight off of your shoulder. If you can forgive others, not saying that what they did or what you thought they did was acceptable, but when you just release them, you're releasing that entire burden. And that is what this Pluto retrograde really has a lot to do with. Be sure to read the companion blog. I know it's long, but I'm giving you 2 weeks to look over this video, pair it up with that blog. And if you have any questions or comments, I know a lot of people have reached out to me over the last week, readers and friends, asking me how to survive during these retrogrades. I have that in the blog, because I just like sit back and chill and I let it happen. You know, what are you going to do? Are you going to resist? Resistance is futile at this point. So I hope you all have a fantastic 2 weeks. Enjoy your holidays with your family and your friends. Do something good for yourself. This is time to pamper and nurture yourself, your mind, body, and spirit. I love you all. Thank you for watching, and thank you for reading my blog. Peace out. Have a great day.